stopped 7 days ago, and you got to remember to start it up again.
So do you only... All right. I don't know anything about how this crap works, but the 28-day packet has how many sugar pills in it?
7.
So birth control, you only take 21 days out of the month.
Basically.
Doesn't matter if your period's long or short.
Right.
Does that have anything to do with your period?
No.
No. Well, how long are you going to let me go on about the period?
So you're done.
All right, you jackass. It's got nothing to do... that break isn't in there for the menstrual thing?
Yes, it is so you can menstruate.
Thank God. See, I knew I knew something. All right, phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LVE-191, fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew is a board-certified physician, Dixon Medalist.
You see what's happening to us?
Drew and I have spent a lot of time together over the last few days, and we're getting on each other very quickly.
No, I was sort of growing fond of you, but I can see that this is not going to work.
I'm a little gassy tonight, too, Drew, so watch the hugging. Tonight, we're going to have a phone-in guest, someone named Barbara Harris. Barbara has adopted 4 crack babies over the... Is it?
Yeah, but that's not what she's really... That's not what we're interested in with her.
I know, but Drew, can you let me get to the rest of the... Jesus Christ, Drew.
We can take it easy.
Well, can I give her credentials before I get into why she's doing this?
Go ahead.
Okay, she adopted these 4 crack babies. She saw firsthand the tragedy of infants that were essentially addicted to crack, and has tried to get a little legislation passed to stop mothers who have a history of crack and or other drug abuse from having more kids.
And more importantly, has gone out in the private sector and started on her own an organization where she pays people to take the birth control pills and to take Depo-Provera and to take Norplant and to have tubal ligations. It's your utopia, Adam.
That's what I'm looking for.
I mean, then
everyone has cosmetic surgery, so they look like me, like Liberace's boyfriend, except for like me. I talked to her earlier in the evening on the phone, and I already made $50 offer for just putting in some Norplant.
And you?
Works for guys, too. Oh, yes. I didn't say, I'm not going to tell you where she put it in. But anyway, it's something that if you listen to the show, you know we've been talking about for a long time. It is Mein Kampf, and God bless Barbara Harris for doing this. So we're going to speak to her in a few minutes. And she's going to tell us all about the a-holes that are trying to stop her. Also, Thursday night, Drew and I were at the fabulous MTV Music Awards, which were in the Universal Amphitheaters, and had a good time. Drew?
Yeah.
You down with that?
Yeah, that first hour, particularly, I thought was sensational.
Really?
Really did.
Name one performer.
Madonna.
Name another one.
Lenny Kravitz.
Ooh, yeah, well, he was out with Madonna.
Brandy.
Oh, you didn't watch Brandy. You don't know who Brandy is.
Beastie Boys.
Listen, I could hold up a picture of Brandy and Flip Wilson as Geraldine, and you wouldn't be able to tell me the difference, would you? No, don't try to get hip.
You know what?
With me.
My kids have that Cinderella thing that she's in, so
Oh, really? Okay. You're hip to the brand. Yeah, we had a good time at that. And we got to try to get Selma Hayek on the show, or at least her boyfriend, because we walked through the press line with Selma Hayek. Selma Hayek got out of the car right in front of ours, and we were sort of together walking for about a half hour, 40 minutes. Is that accurate, Drew?
It may have been that long.
All right. Well, Drew, you really know how to paint a picture. She was in front of us for quite some time, and she was walking about 5 feet in front of me, and we never said anything to her. And I never like to say anything to celebrities, especially good-looking chicks, because it's like I'm back in high school, but instead of the prom queen, it's a chick who makes $5 million a picture. And you're really not talking to her. And I don't want to talk to celebrities. I feel like an asshole. But after a while, she turned around and said to me, "My boyfriend is your number one fan. He loves you. He watches you every night. He listens to you every night, and he just loves me. He never stops talking." Now, she never said she liked me at all, but she said he was a big fan, and I guess if he, beats on her enough, she might come in here. So I told her, well, I can meet your boyfriend when you bring him in the night you do the show. So apparently he's out of town in England or something like that now, but Ann, that's something to chase after.
Just so you know, our people have turned us down once.
Okay. You know.
Hey,
This is so weird. We meet these people. And
know. The whole Ellen and
Ann. Yeah.
Listen, here's what I want you publicists to do. There was something about 15 years ago. It was a bad idea at the time, but I'm thinking it would work with publicists. It was called Jonestown. All you a-holes get together. You're already in your own freakish cult, you freaks. Nobody likes you. Get together and pull one of these mass suicides. Get out of the way, and then we could all go. It would be business as usual.
I don't think it's the
we wouldn't miss a day.
Well, Drew, you have a publicist that won't even give up her other clients.
Oh, they're pack a-holes, all of them. Please.
What's up with
They're
that?
horrible people. They're despicable people. Drew, imagine if you got a publicist and mated her with a parking enforcement guy. Can you imagine? It'd be like taking a badger and mating it with a killer bee. and like a skunk and a weasel. Oh, they're all horrible people.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, Drew and I talk to people all the time, all night long. They come running up to Drew. Who was it? Ellen and Ann Heche. They attack Drew. They tell him what a fan they are of him and the show, and so on and so forth. I'm sure they brought my name up, but Drew didn't mention that to me. And then you call their publicist the next week and say, hey, they want to come on the show, and they don't call you back. So that's how it works. All right, you're all big time. I'll never use one of you, you rat bastards. Drew, you ready to power forward?
Let's go. When are we having the caller, by the way?
Kristen, you're 17. She's going to right after the commercial.
All right.
Kristen, whatever your name is, you're 17 and you got this problem about your boyfriend slobbering all over you when you kiss?
Gone.
Oh, wow.
Katrina.
Yes.
Hi.
You're 22. What's going on?
Well, about 2 months ago, I just have to say first, I love you guys. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We listen to you every night, my husband and I. I'm sure you get sick of hearing that.
No, we don't. I'm a bottomless pit.
Adam needs his ego stroked, I think.
That's right.
Okay, about 2 months ago, my dad came up with his new wife to visit, and my children and I met him over at the RV park in town, a little place where they can camp, and we went for this little picnic, and on the way back, my dad missed his turnoff and just flipped out. I mean, started calling me all kinds of really bad profanities.
Missed a turnout?
Turnoff?
His turnoff, yeah.
You mean he just missed an off-ramp on the highway or something?
Right. And it was our fault because, we were telling him to turn and he couldn't.
Has he always been an asshole?
Yeah.
He always has been.
Well, from the time I was about 3 till I was almost 14, we didn't really have any contact because he was an alcoholic. And
Is he an alcoholic now?
No.
He's in recovery?
Yes.
Okay.
But apparently he uses crank. I found all this after.
Okay, well that doesn't
count, though, does it? I mean, that's
so he's an
speed.
Addict. Okay, Katrina, he's a severe addict, and speed addicts do all kinds of very bizarre things and fly off the handle in bizarre ways and become violent. So you have to stay away from him. And what you need to do is make it clear to him that until he is clean and in recovery, working with a sponsor, he cannot be around his grandchildren. He has grandchildren from you, right? And he's not to be around you, and that is that. And it had nothing to do with somebody who's using like that. He is dangerous.
Well, my main problem is after we got back from this picnic and everything, after he got
violent. He got violent.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do.
And on the way back, he was screaming at me, criticizing me for having religious beliefs and saying...
Hey, Katrina?
Yes?
Anything you say after the part about him being into crank, we're not listening to.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what he called you or what he said.
I can paint it for you, what happened, because it always happens.
He's not my problem now. My daughter is my problem, my 2-year-old daughter.
She saw this all go down.
She saw everything. She saw him slap me in the face. She heard him screaming, F God, and all this stuff.
How's she doing? She's 2?
Yes.
How's she doing?
Well, I saw that at daycare, and ever since, like the next day after that happened, she started slapping kids in the face.
Oh, my God.
And I was reading Bible stories to her one day, and we were reading about God, and she blurts out, F God.
Oh, my.
And I talked to her
Hold on a second. Is she bound for hell now, Drew?
She's 2.
Is there still time to win her back?
Yeah, I'll win her back.
This has made a very profound impression on her, and kids need to feel in control and secure, and this undoubtedly made her feel terribly out of control. This doesn't have to be a life-defining experience for her. I mean, you need to, again, make sure you're connected with her, available to her, let her play out in some ways the feelings around what has happened to her, but just keep it secure and stable. And I'm sure.
How audible are you at 2?
Some kids can talk.
You get the F God in it too?
That's pretty wild.
Maybe she said yelled like Etch-a-Sketch or something, and it just came out the wrong way.
The point is, she needs stability, she needs security, she needs empathy from you, and she needs an opportunity to play and express these things, and that's all. And let it be. And keep the a-hole dad away until he's in securely in sobriety, at least 6 months, and then maybe.
Here's the deal: you got to look at this crack addict like a gun with no trigger lock. You just can't leave him around. You got to put him up on a shelf, and you got to keep him away from your kid. He's just as dangerous.
I guess we're far enough out now that I can begin talking about the OJ thing. The OJ story is a classic speed story. Classic. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he was doing speed or cocaine, but mostly speed. Mm-hmm. What? Allegedly. That's alleged. But look, whatever his alleged behavior, if indeed that's what he had done, that it's a classic speed or cocaine story.
Really?
Classic.
Yeah.
This is what happened.
It wasn't a classic speed story when the cops were chasing him, though. It's going about...
no, that's the kind of stuff people on speed do. It is.
All right. So that's your... I think the man's innocent. I don't understand what all the hullabaloo's around. I'm sure they're going to catch a real killer any day now. Aren't we still looking for them? They're going to turn up any day. Can you imagine? I swear to God, I was lying in bed thinking about this the other day. Imagine that there is a real killer of Nicole and Ron. Imagine that there's a real killer, and it's just some guy, some drug hitman type, like OJ alleged, and he's never said a word to anybody. And this whole huge, you know how guys love to talk, and this is how they catch half the guys who kill people, like all these gang murders. Guys driving down the street, sprays a bunch of bullets out of a car, kills some infant. They don't get a license plate. They don't see what kind of car it is. They don't get anything. You know how they catch these guys in 2 weeks?
They start talking.
They start talking. Now imagine being some idiot who killed those two. And this is the biggest story in the world for years. You never say a word to anybody. You're going to talk to somebody eventually, if in fact you exist. But if you don't exist, it's hard to talk. Matt?
I'm surprised that the Klan hasn't killed OJ already, but that's anyways. After listening to the show for several months here and listening to the effect that sex at a young age has on people, I began to wonder if my bisexuality was sort of set on me at a young age because I had a same-sex activity as a child.
How old?
20, or how old?
How old were you?
I'm guessing like 12, 13.
That's something that had to usually go before that.
You ever had sex with an animal?
No.
Why are you asking that?
He had that in his voice, didn't he?
The James?
Poindexter?
I'm a little nervous.
No, I just mean guys who are, you're obviously educated.
Yeah.
And you know your way around the internet and a computer.
Yeah.
But you're sort of detached and you have difficulty with members of the opposite sex.
James was ice. Matt, you get a little feeling from.
Yeah, I get a little affect from you, man. Okay.
Well, I guess part of it, too, is I didn't come out till I was 25, and I've never had sex with a woman. But I want a stable relationship.
Well, why are you bisexual,
then? That's why I'm calling in. I don't know.
You're not happy, you're not comfortable with being homosexual?
No, it's that I have a strong attraction to women, too.
Just never...
I want to get a stable relationship in my life, and I kind of started to wonder if I do find somebody, is this something that because it was a childhood type thing will it have an effect that I won't be able to see? Because everything...
Hold on.
Who do you want to be stable with, a man or a woman?
Right. Your gay relationships haven't been stable?
No, I just have not had...
How come?
Many of them. How come...
They haven't been stable.
Oh, I mean, I just haven't had any...
All right, hold
relationship build up, I guess.
Shut Drew's mic off, Mike. I guess I got to get in here and get some answers. First off, is the hymen intact?
No.
No, it is not.
No.
So you have, in fact, at least had one encounter with a male, right?
Yeah.
And but you've never had a boyfriend. Nothing you could call a boyfriend. No. How many encounters with a male have you had?
5.
Could you count them on one fist? I mean, one hand?
Yeah, 5 goes on. I got 5 fingers, yeah.
Okay.
Well, 4 and a thumb.
Five guys you've had an encounter with, and no women.
No women.
But yet you think of yourself as bisexual because you're attracted to women.
Yeah.
But you're always sort of, you're unsure yourself and had difficulty approaching women. And you find that males are easier to approach.
No, not so much that as I don't approach anybody. I was more the
victim,
asocial type as young age.
So somebody comes after you and you just let it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and men tend to come after you more than women do. Anything ever happened to you before you were 12 or 13 when you had that same-sex encounter?
This is the key. What happened is the key. Tell us about it.
Is it young age?
Yeah.
Sort of before I can remember in a lot of ways, but I don't remember a whole lot about young childhood because ADD just was a developmental thing. I would say it was over a number of years. It was with a cousin that it was just a common relationship type thing where we would be together a lot just on normal things, friendship things. But
it would go beyond that.
Yeah.
There'd be a physical thing going on.
Well, that's what Drew was looking for 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was not a relationship build-up thing. It was purely a sexual thing.
I understand, but
that's fine. Yeah. That's worse.
And he, we could predict, was abused. How old was he?
No, but he is gay.
I understand. How old was he?
5 years older.
And how old were you when this all started?
I'm throwing a guess out here that it was not something before 10, I don't believe.
Well, I'm going
to... I think you could narrow that down, don't you?
So he was 15 and you were 10?
Yeah, it could be before that. I don't know what age
it was before. I promise it was before that.
Okay.
And your cousin,
actually,
I also promise your cousin was sexually abused by an adult, because to engage in that kind of predatory action on children requires him to have been traumatized.
Well, and think about where you were at when you were 14 or 15, guys. Ninth grade, sprouting a little pubic hair, voice change, and thinking you were all that. And you're going down and screwing around with some third or fourth grader. You know, I mean, that's not a natural thing.
Right. There's something really wrong with that. And that is messing with your identity today.
Yes. All right. So that is what you need to look into. All other questions right now are moot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course he can't carry on a stable relationship. He doesn't know where he is or what's going on.
All right, I got to talk to...
Mei-Ling?
Mei-Ling?
Mei-Ling.
A couple of weeks ago, Adam was saying, hey, I should do something with, all these words I make up, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah, I did.
So I made a song.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Hold on.
Hello?
Yeah, I know, but how long is this song, Mei-Ling?
I don't know, 70 seconds?
70 seconds.
I mean, I'm just doing it a cappella. I just like to sing.
All right, well, just spit it out. Shut up there, Mike. Spit it out, Mei-Ling.
I think your calculus is your Bahamian intact. I can't believe you have the nerve to ask me that. You never worry that I'll think you're just a jackhole. You never worry much anyway. Just take a nap and wake up late. I think you're intelligent. You make it look so easy. Not so easy to do when you sit next to Dr. Pinsky. You never worry that I'll think you're just a jackhole. You never worry much anyway. Just take a nap and wake up.
It's got to be more than 70 seconds, isn't it, Drew? Hey, Mei-Ling.
Yes?
That was wonderful.
You like it?
Yes. I'm clapping.
Great.
That was spectacular. You must have some sort of background in theater.
Do I?
Yeah.
No, I have a bachelor's degree in math.
Oh, okay. I knew there was an abacus involved. Mei-Ling, that is wonderful. You must be good looking because you have no talent.
I'm all right. I'm kind of chubby.
Oh, okay. That's why you had the time to write that song.
That's right. But I write a lot of other songs. I self-publish some poetry.
All right.
With 11...
Hey, Mei-Ling?
Yeah.
I hate to cut you off after such a beautiful tribute, but we're running late. We got to speak to Barbara Harris.
All right.
I'll tell you what. Put together another song.
Yeah?
And then call in another show, because call us back with it. And go ahead and read one of your poems as long as it's 30 seconds.
When do you want me to call you back?
Like a year.
Oh, Adam.
Okay, all right, 2 weeks. We'll be back.
Hey, this is Pat Boone. You and I are listening to Loveline with Dr. Drew. and Adam Carolla.
Yes, you is. Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. We're going to speak to Barbara Harris. Barbara Harris has herself, adopted 4 crack-addicted infants and now is spearheading a movement to pay folks that are addicted to crack and drugs, more specifically women, and essentially not to have kids.
Yes.
$50 for Norplant, $20 for the Depo-Provera, which is lasts for 12 weeks. We'll make a note of that. Was that 6 months or 8 months? 3 months. And $200 for the big tubal ligation. That's what Engineer Mike had.
The male equivalent.
Oh, see, that's where you're wrong.
Oh, really? He had his ovaries clipped.
By that time I went and smoked pot with him in his apartment?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
He showed you the fallopian tubes, huh?
That and the stairway to heaven.
Nice.
That's where that is.
Were they connected?
Right up Mike's fallopian tubes. All right, so anyway, Barbara is on the line, and we will speak to that saint. Is it down here?
Yeah, she's on. Barbara?
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Good.
How are you?
Good. You know, you're fighting a good fight, Barbara. We couldn't be more proud of you. This is something that this wasn't our specific plan, but I've said many, many times, the only way we're going to fix this world is to start getting people who have no business having kids to stop having kids, especially their 5th and 6th.
That is our big issue.
So right.
Now, we broaden it. And we know you'd like to do that, too, but you don't want to get yourself in too much trouble. We don't care, crack or not. I don't care if you've never taken a drug in your life. I don't want you having kids if you got no business having kids.
Right.
But that's another battle. We can move on to that later.
At least this one everyone can agree with. It's so obvious.
Well, not everyone. Tell us what opposition you've run into.
Actually, I've had very little opposition. It always appears when you see a show on TV or read something in the newspaper that was written about our organization that a lot of people oppose us because they go out and find somebody who does, obviously. But we've never had anybody contact our organization telling us that they didn't approve of what we were doing.
How many women have you?
So far, we've had 18. 18
women. How many have gone for the tubal ligation?
15.
Wow, 15 of 18.
And when we originally started, the prices were what you said, but now we pay $200 across the board.
For everything.
I didn't want anybody giving me any heat and saying they're opting for the tubal because you pay more for that than anything else.
Very smart.
Now it's $200 for whatever they want to get.
And the Norplant, using the 5-year Norplant or the 3-year?
5-year.
Yes.
That's the extra strength Norplant. That's what I like. The one with the skull and crossbones on the box. The box flying the Jolly Roger. Hey, but it says here, I was reading something off the internet that producer Ann was nice enough to highlight. It was funny. Ann pulled a bunch of stuff off. You're doing a good job. And you have a good cause when Ann pulls a bunch of 3 or 4 pages off the computer and says, "Let me just highlight the
important
things," and then she hands me back a piece of paper that's completely yellow. Everything but the page number and the date was highlighted. I said, "It's a visual," but. It says somewhere that you had a bill that basically got shot down.
Right, that's it.
So obviously somebody is opposing it.
Up in Sacramento. Actually, when the bill was originally written, the most important part of the bill was mandatory long-term birth control, and just as soon as the bill hit Sacramento, that part was taken out. I mean, they had lines through that part.
They just will not
quickly.
Go for
Nobody
that.
up there is going to talk about that. So.
Why?
What is that?
We have our own feelings on why that is.
They're just nobody so far, at least not in California, is willing to step forward and say anything about a woman's rights to procreate. I don't know. They don't have the.
Is it a women's rights issue, or is it a race issue, or is it a?
It's happened in other states. I know of a judge in Ohio that ordered a woman to get a tubal ligation because she had 6 drug-addicted babies, and I remember seeing him on a talk show, and I was actually cheering in my living room and thinking somebody's got a backbone, So it's happening in other places.
Well, let me tell you the beauty of living in this state, this California. We got a bunch of pussies who are, for lack of a better term, that are in control. Mm-hmm. Now, these are folks that don't mind for a second telling you can't smoke anywhere but on the moon, and they don't mind telling you where you can and can't. Who can smoke marijuana and who they can tell you a million things. You got to wear a helmet. You got to wear a seatbelt. There's 1,000 laws.
Can't put a kitchen in your garage?
Yeah, there's a million. Yeah, all you who have a garage and think you want to put a second story on it and you'd like a kitchen in there because you'd like to make it a guest house, guess again. It ain't happening in California. We got a billion rules. But none that make sense, and none that would be more important than this one.
Right.
There's such a bunch of hypocritical pussies.
One of the things you were going for was just to try to require women to have treatment if they show up with an addicted baby, right? And they wouldn't even go for that.
I mean, even mandatory treatment.
I mean, what is that?
Because they're not willing to do anything. They're willing to allow these women to visit their local hospitals yearly, twice yearly in many cases, because these babies are born premature. They have their babies. They don't even get a slap on the hand. They just walk out of the hospital.
You bet.
Well, let's. I hate to jump in, but wouldn't you say this is an accurate statement? The two things that politicians will not touch are issues involving race and issues involving gender.
And issues involving procreative rights.
Right.
Which is a gender issue, ultimately.
Right. That was you put a finer point on it, Drew. I appreciate that. Because a large proportion of these women are black, this is considered a race issue. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, that's not really the case. Out of the women that have come through our program, it's equal. I mean, a lot of people that...
No, let's put it this way. Because a significant, not even a majority, but a significant percentage.
As far as, I don't know.
Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. No. We're just saying that these problems afflict a lot of non-Caucasian individuals. And as soon as you start talking about issues that affect certain populations more than others, or at least disproportionately, then you got a problem.
Well, let me ask you a question. You have 4 kids that you adopted?
Right.
What color are they?
Black.
Okay. What is the breakdown in color of the 18 women that you've worked with?
Well, but those are the ones that present themselves. That's not fair. That's not fair.
All right. Why?
Because that's a self-selecting population that may not represent...
Well, give me the breakdown anyway, just for the hell of it.
It's 9... They changed it the other day, so now I'm a little confused. But Dateline gave the statistics on just the women who had tubal ligations, and it was 6 who were black, 6 who were Caucasian, and 2 who were Hispanic.
Right.
And, I mean, a lot of people assume that all drug addicts are black, and that's really not the case.
No. Listen, I'm an addictionologist, and I can tell you that there's absolutely no doubt that's not the case.
But Drew only works with celebrities and athletes. Oh, wait a minute. Athletes. I forgot about that. Oh, celebrities. I forgot about that. Wait a minute. Maybe. All right. No, we're not saying that. But when people picture a crack mother, whether this sounds racist or not, they picture a black woman.
Right,
that's wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's what's going to come to mind, but that's not true.
That is ridiculous.
We don't just deal with crack. Our program is even available to women who drink alcohol.
Right, but wouldn't you say that this is a factor when it comes to the politicians?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Right. And it's not, because you're not making it a color issue. You're saying if, in fact, you're addicted to crack, we're going to pay you for using birth control. And it doesn't matter, you're not underlining, there's no bump if you're Hispanic or black or whatever you are, right?
No, I don't even think race should be an issue. I mean, don't minority babies matter? I mean, right. I don't even think this should matter what race these women are.
Of course. Or if you want to make it your issue, why aren't you more concerned for your race?
Right.
You know, why isn't it more of an issue for you if it's something you're concerned about?
So what is, when they shot the thing down, what reasons did they give, or did they?
I was told that the Republicans were for it and the Democrats weren't.
Right.
That's the only thing I was told.
Right. You know, the Democrats...
How bizarre is that?
Democrats love people so much they end up killing them. They squeeze them, they hug them till they suffocate and die. You know what I'm saying?
Well-meaning, misplaced, misguided concern, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, what you're trying to do... First off, you're a saint for doing what you're doing. And secondly, you're not saying round up all the infants that are addicted to crack, dig a big hole and bury them.
Right.
You're saying there's cases where mothers are on their 5th and 6th crack-addicted child.
Hey, look, you're saying there's a human who's suffering out there. We're going to require her to get treatment. The law is going to force her in a healthy direction.
Right.
And it's going to help society by also forcing the whole procreative issue in a healthy direction as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just shocking that it wouldn't be something that by fiat, we need a referendum. maybe.
Of the 18 women that came through our program so far, they had 102 children, 13 that didn't survive. That's just to let
out of 18 women, 102 out there still now.
So,
and if you've ever seen a crack baby, they can be pretty disturbed people.
And let me tell you my sincere wish. I really mean it. I hope one of these crack babies grows up with the altered chemical and the freaked out environment, bouncing from a foster home to foster home, and then somewhere around their 18th birthday puts a shiv in the side of one of these fat retired Democrats who saw fit not to pass this bill. Because believe me, this is who will be doing the real work in the next 10 to 15, 20 years.
How about a referendum? California has a referendum, a populist procedure. You thought about that?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've kind of given up on the politicians and all of that. And
is that
our
pathetic?
Program is working well. It's successful. It has a lot of people.
It's the private sector that's going to do it.
Yeah, it's sad, but you have to take matters in your own hands.
Right.
I mean, it's like a Frankenstein movie. You have to light a torch and head up to the castle if you want to get anything done.
Right.
These jack-off politicians, they're such pussies. All they do is worry about their next election. They can't even get out of their own way, and they're scared of their own shadow. And they're scared of what everyone thinks of them. Mm-hmm. They won't say anything or do anything for fear of how a group will react.
Right.
How about just doing what's right and do what makes sense? That's all. Stop worrying about your next election.
Makes too much sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, all you're saying is these people are addicted to crack or addicted to heroin or alcohol. Let's get them some help, and let's have them stop having kids. And by the way, you think any of these pussies are willing to adopt any of these kids? I wonder what percentage of these people have adopted crack babies.
Or ever seen one.
Or even seen one. Thank you, Drew.
Right.
Now, how are your kids?
They're doing okay.
How old are they?
They're 5, 6, 7, and 8.
It's a lot of work.
Oh.
A lot of work, Barbara.
Ooh. Oh.
But it's a lot. It's a bigger picture than what most people see. It's not just about these babies being born addicted. It's what happens to them for the next, like you said.
Listen, Drew's got triplets. They're just on the weed in their handful. I can only imagine what they're like on crack. Hey, Barbara.
Yeah.
Hang on a second, because we have to take a little time out here.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back. I want to talk to you a little more about this. I'm going to find out how this... I want you to sort of tell me how this manifests, this crack addiction in a child. I mean, from infancy up until what it is now, how that affects that.
How she's experienced it.
Yeah. All right. Can you hang on?
Uh-huh.
All right. We'll be right back.
You have 5 seconds.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
2.
Back in a minute.
1.
Hi, this is Nev Campbell, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
I think so. Yeah. Hey, thank you. Phone number, 1-800-LVE-191. Smash Mouth is going to be in here a little bit later this week. Always good to see those guys. Barbara Harris.
Carolyn Ray tomorrow.
Carolyn Ray. Caroline.
That's what I said.
You said Caroline, I think. Drew's favorite female comedian. Caroline is on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Mm-hmm. She plays a cat.
And I saw her doing the world's longest infomercial. It was like some American makeover thing.
It wasn't one of those commercials about the stuff you can put in your hair to give yourself like a bun and a curl and all that stuff.
She's gonna get a piece of my mind on that one.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure she got a piece of that, though. I'm sure she made some good money.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's a pretty solid comedian. And we did the Hollywood Squares with her a few times, and Drew's in love with her. Actually, she's in love with Drew, and Drew likes people who are in love with him. Like Barbara Harris. Barbara?
Yes.
Hey. All right, so Barbara is, I got to give you a little crap for one thing. She's involved with an organization called CRACK. That's Children Requiring a Caring Community, but she spells community with a K.
Right. Well, that was to spell crack.
I know, but listen, sweetie. Either you got to just get rid of the K in general and just call it crack sort of phonetically, or you got to come up with something that starts with a K. I'd work like knowledge or something. And plus, because you can work connecting words like and knowledge, and it won't count the A from and. The lengths that people go to get a good acronym these days.
Are you doing anything for men?
Right. We actually have our first man getting a vasectomy next week, and we've got a few more who have the paperwork. So, yeah, we give them the same $200.
That's great.
And are they have to show evidence of being, unfit parent? Or, yeah.
Right, because they play a part in this, too. The children that I adopted, they're 4 of 8 that were born to one mother. The father...
don't forget the men do play a large role in this.
He was the father for 8 of those, and
maybe
four more.
Create laws where men who have unprotected sex with these women could be punished.
Oh, listen. I'm trying to adopt the genital collection program, where I take guys like this and I put their scrotum in a mason jar and I keep it in my basement, and I don't let it out until their prostate explodes, and then I give it back to them. You said that Barbara said that there was 18 women who had the 18 women that have come in and sought help from you have been responsible for how many children?
102.
That is, it's. Listen.
One of them had 14 children. See, people don't understand how many babies these women have. We know of another woman who just had her 10th a couple of months ago, and this woman's not only a drug addict now, but she has AIDS. The last 4 babies that she's given birth to were HIV positive.
And that doesn't have to be that way.
You got to understand, as a government, you have to prioritize about me and my kitchen over my garage. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because as far as an impact on the community, that hot plate is really going to stir things up.
I think it's the refrigerator they're concerned with.
Yeah, it's the mini fridge is going to go on a killing spree one day.
But that mothers with HIV can receive treatment that could substantially reduce their risk of transmission. Look at that. And that's not being done.
Oh, yeah. Well, because they don't even get prenatal care.
Yeah,
right.
Tell us briefly the horrors of adopting, or I should say rearing a crack-addicted infant.
It is a horror when they're infants, because you have to watch them suffer through withdrawals. And one of ours that was worse, the worst case that we had, he had projectile vomiting for months. He couldn't sleep. He looked like his eyes were going to bug out of his head. His eyes were so big. And
those are actually not withdrawal symptoms. Those are the result of the injury to the nervous system.
Yeah, and loud noises till they were 4 or 5 years old. They couldn't, if they were outside and there was something that was a loud noise, they would run in the house. They were terrified of loud noises.
So you didn't take them out on Cinco de Mayo?
No.
4th of July.
Or 4th of July. And obviously it must have broken your heart.
Right.
To watch these infants going through this. And I wish you could get, just get the video camera out next time these kids start projectile vomiting, and just haul it on in to the House or Congress or wherever it is you're bringing it.
They don't care.
And start showing some of these a-holes the reality of this.
Right.
Barbara, I'll tell you, it is something that is near and dear to our heart, this issue. And like I said, for us, it's not just drug-addicted parents. It's just bad parents.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anybody having kids who has no business raising kids. And that's all that's wrong with society right there. If you think about it. We've talked about this a few times on this show. But what do we need a police force for? For me, for you, for Ann, maybe for Mike, depending on the drug laws. See how that goes. But the point is no. Not for anybody. I don't care what color you are or what sex you are or what religion you are. We don't need it if you have good parents and people are taking care of you and you know right from wrong.
Right.
Wait, let's talk to somebody who wants to ask Barbara a question.
Colin?
Hi.
Hey.
I'm in shock listening to that. I can't believe that it's not being accepted. But first off, I was wondering how someone like myself could get involved in something like that to help it make a law.
Well, you get off the crack first, sweetie.
Oh, all right, yeah. I think I got that one accomplished by never getting on it.
Ah, okay. So
also, I'm not a citizen, an American citizen, so I can't sign a petition or anything like that, but I could...
Where are you from?
I'm Canadian, but
I was going to say, do they have a valley in Canada?
No, but I grew up here. I moved here when I was 4.
Oh, okay.
So I'm from here, but I'm not a citizen.
Don't you get your citizenship at some point?
You have to be born here.
Oh, you can't. Can't become one?
Yeah, I could become one if I wanted to, but then I lose the Canadian one. It's just silly. I've got all the rights that you...
Why did you get naturalized? Because I don't think that it would be as impactful if you really want to become politically active if you're Canadian.
Canucks against crack?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, maybe you could...
CAC. Hey, Barbara, do you have a phone number or something you can give out?
Right.
That if people want to help, get in touch with you?
Sure.
Why don't you give that?
Area code 714-236-0217.
Again?
714-236-0217.
Hey, Colin?
I put her on hold.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to talk to her. I just hope Colin has that number, and we'll spit it out again before the night is through. Drew, can I punch up another call here?
Not on that line. Over here.
Well, you do it. I don't know how to do it.
Okay, no, Harris, Barbara, we're going back to our usual calls, and then we'll sort of sprinkle in some stuff directed towards you, okay?
Okay.
Then if you want to jump in, go ahead and jump in.
At any point.
Ed.
All right.
Hi.
You're 17. What's going on?
Adam, first let me say I think you're a brilliant comedian.
Oh, really?
Yes, definitely.
Oh, thank you.
But anyway...
You ever heard his work?
Shut up, Drew.
But anyway, I have vitiligo, which turns my skin white.
Yeah, you ever seen people with these big patches of...
Yeah, Michael Jackson has that.
Oh, please.
No.
Don't compare me to Michael Jackson.
Doesn't he have that?
That's what he's supposed to have.
Yeah, well, how'd he turn white?
Yeah. It's very irregular and patchy, and, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any thyroid problems, Ed?
Do I have hair problems?
Thyroid.
Thyroid, no.
Because there's a high association with thyroid and vitiligo, so have that checked once.
I'm pretty skinny. I'm about 6'2", and I weigh about 140 pounds, though.
Well, you could be hyperthyroid. I'm not saying hypo. In fact, hyperthyroidism is the thing that's associated with vitiligo typically.
Well, anyway, my question is, I have it over my penis, too. I have a two-colored penis, Adam, and I was wondering if women would actually
bet the black part's bigger. What?
I'm wondering if women would actually care about this. Yeah, I mean,
No.
A multicolored penis,
No. Well, they've seen the rest of you, right?
Right.
And so if you got through those gates with them, I'm sure they'd be all right with the penis.
Well, I had a sexual relationship when I was 15 with a 24-year-old. That was kind of different.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, so that's not typical.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about this is why it's okay with the penis, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Most guys... Wait a minute. Let me take that back. A lot of guys have color variation on their penis.
Yeah, it's normal.
I mean, the end is like one color.
No, there's a lot of birth sort of...
There's a lot of, there's a lot of like gristle and stuff from the circumcision. There's a whole, it's like a kaleido penis they got going on down there. So it's every color that's not in the rainbow.
Uh-huh.
Whatever it is, it's not, they're not pretty colors, but there's a multitude of them. You understand?
I understand.
So you're all right. You just got one more color. So your penis looks like a Dalmatian. That's fine. Right on the back of the fire truck. And,
yeah, but it's like it has no pigment. It's just completely white.
That's good.
It's pink.
That's stealth. You sneak up on a vagina that way. Doesn't see you coming. All right. Drew, what'd you do there? Cut him off?
You have to go to break, though.
Oh, we do. Okay. Barbara?
Hold on.
Yeah.
You there? I'm sorry I had to expose you to that. Here's a woman that's doing it.
We're already late for break.
What's going on, Drew?
They're telling me to take a certain line, and I thought we got to go to break. So,
well, if they're telling you to take it, we can take it.
All right, take it.
Which one's that?
Nelia.
Yes.
You're 17. What's going on?
I just think that Barbara I think that is such a wonderful, cool idea. And it makes me really sad because I've seen crack babies before and things that happen to them, and it makes me want to cry. I feel so bad, and I think that's really good, and we need something like that.
Well, the woman should be appointed or anointed or something, a saint, just by virtue of the fact she's adopted 4 crack babies.
Yes.
If she never did another thing in her life, if she killed the Pope, she should still get sainthood for adopting 4 crack-addicted infants. I mean, can you imagine that?
Yeah, but she's going well beyond that, so...
Okay. Hang on a second, Barbara.
Okay.
We're going to go to break, and then we'll be back to take more calls and speak to you as well. Hey, it is Loveline. We have to take a quick 10-second top-of-the-hour break, and we'll be right back with the rest of the important show.
This is Loveline on
Radio
Station. New Rock. KFMA 92.1 FM. Greenville, Tucson.
It is Loveline. I'm Adam Carolla. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Barbara Harris is our guest tonight. Barbara is coming to us over the phone. Barbara is a champion for the rights of crack-infested kids. She's adopted 4 herself, and her plan, which seems to make sense to me, is not to get the kid's born in the first place. Now, let me pose a question to all who are listening. It just popped in my head. But when the fruit fly comes in to this city and starts infesting all the fruit and the med fly, whatever the fly is that we get from some other crappy country, they come in. What do? You know how we try to eradicate those? Do we try to catch all of them and rehabilitate them? No. What we try to do is we try to sterilize the flies because they're a nuisance, and we don't want them having any more.
Right. We add sterile flies to the mix.
That's right. Right. And they, in turn, aren't able to sire anymore because, let's face it, this is hurting society. And this is the same thing. I know people get offended when I liken children, human beings, to med flies, but I'm doing it. I kiss my ass. Barbara?
Yes.
All right. So you've adopted 4 of these kids. You've seen firsthand the tragedy of this syndrome. And all you attempted to do is get a little legislation through the California Senate. Is that what it is? Yeah. To put an end to this. And they don't seem interested in doing that.
No, the problem isn't significant enough for
No, that's not it. No matter how significant it gets, they're not going to listen.
Right.
Until the public is so outraged and so overwhelmed by this, and the horse is completely out of the barn.
Yeah. Right. Here's one big issue is whenever you deal with reproductive rights, they feel you're playing God, and they get real weird about that. It's sort of biblical and sacred. On the other hand, God wouldn't be smoking crack, would he? Or the Virgin Mary?
No, I don't think so.
That's kind of a rhetorical question, but I appreciate you answering it anyway, Barbara. Now, you want to give your phone number out again for people who want to donate time or resources or old cribs or whatever the hell they want to donate?
This is area code 714-236-0217.
Now, is it true that you've had some opposition, that there's been some threats against you and your family?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, really? Because producer Ann said that someone took a shot at your vehicle.
Oh, no. My son got shot, but it had nothing to do. It was before crack, or before my crack, not crack.
Before you open your crack, your big crack?
It was when he was 4 years old. We were on the freeway.
Oh, really?
By freeway, and a bullet came through our van window and hit him. And he's God. Okay. He has a scar on the side of his face where the bullet entered, but he survived, thank God. And
the thing that seems to be amazing about children and bullet-related injuries is your head probably takes up about 15% of your body, yet it's hit 95% of the time.
Right.
I don't know why that is, or maybe you only remember it and you don't remember it when a kid gets shot in the foot, but every time I hear about a kid getting shot, he gets shot in the head.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, I couldn't hit someone in the head if I tried from 50 feet.
He was very lucky. He was definitely being watched over because it could have been a lot worse than it was.
Well, Barbie, my theory is anytime you get shot anywhere around the head, you're not lucky. But you're saying he's lucky didn't hit him in the brain.
He didn't have no permanent damage. So.
Oh, to be young again, Drew. Back when bullets just bounced right off you. How old is your son now?
He's 7.
And this, of course, is your biological son, right?
This is one of the adopted.
Oh, this is one of the adopted.
Yeah. So he's had a couple of tragedies in his young life. He's a true survivor.
Wow. Yeah. But, that's absolutely amazing. You're born addicted to crack. You get shot at when you're 4. You hit in the head, and look at you.
Yeah.
Now, how are the kids doing now?
They're doing great. A lot of people tell me that they go against my argument, that it's bad for these kids to be born addicted to drugs, but they don't understand that my children aren't the normal children. Most of these kids don't get picked up from the hospital by somebody that's truly committed and loves them.
Right.
And we do, and that's why they're who they are today.
Right. And they're doing okay in school and everything?
Yeah, they're going against everything that everybody told me. I mean, I was told they they would definitely act out in school. They would never do well. They'd be delayed, and they're going totally against all of it. But,
I had a lot of faculty kept sending notes home to my parents, urging them to get off the crack.
Assuming they were on crack.
Just assuming, based on my attendance
and behavior,
that they must have at least been on crack. They just thought actually ether was being pumped into the house. There were towels under the door. Oh, God bless you, Barbara. All right, so hang with us, and we'll take another call or two. And Drew, is it down here on the lower bank tonight?
No.
Oh, really?
There you go.
You're really going to confuse me. Dana.
Yes.
You're 19.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, I have a question about liposuction, actually. I wanted to know if there was, what kind of risks are involved with it.
How big are you?
260.
And
I'm 5'7".
Well,
5'7".
To my understanding, they haven't perfected the techniques where they can take out large amounts of material. There's actually an ultrasound technique of where they can liquefy large areas of fat and take that out. That may be coming. I don't believe that's available yet.
Well, I think I've heard of that.
Well, I know it's out there. I'm not sure if it's readily available anyway. But the liposuction types of procedures anyway, there's surgeries, and the risks of anesthesia, obviously, and infection that can cause at the liposuction sites. And I have even seen what's called a fat embolism syndrome. And although they complain, or at least claim that doesn't happen, I have definitely seen it. And in this one woman I saw, she had something called a patent foramen ovale, which is basically a quiet hole in her heart that you wouldn't otherwise know about, that when these fat embolism occurred, it went across that hole and went to her brain.
A fat embolism is like it's like a bad subway train traveling down a tunnel, and then it gets stuck somewhere and kills you, right?
Basically, yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. So it's like this chunk of fat goes through your blood system and hits your brain, and then gives you a stroke.
It's more like a showering of tiny microscopic things.
Hey, Dana.
Yeah.
I thought that liposuction wasn't necessarily for people that were real big, but it was to sort of tone up people that had been big and wanted to sort of tighten up specific areas.
Well, from what I'd heard, I don't know if that's, it might be true, but I just heard it was, so I don't know.
Well, have you tried dieting?
Yeah, and, well, here I am. It didn't work. No, I just don't have, I don't know. I'm not patient. I don't know. I just don't follow through with it.
It's never going to replace diet and exercise.
Okay.
It's adjunctive to that.
No, only speed replaces diet and exercise. That's my message to the kids tonight. Are your parents big?
My mom is.
And what's she coming in at?
I don't. She's about the same as me, but she's a little bit shorter than me.
Mm-hmm. And is your dad skinny?
He's a rail.
Because that's always funny. There's nothing funnier than a real skinny guy with no ass. And he's with a big stout woman. So a lot of guys are into that, though.
Except you're about to get pissed off at Tyra Banks and Cindy Crawford.
Drew, what was I saying to you today
you were
on the ride home from the airport?
So much I couldn't do my studying.
For those of you who think I just carry on the air, oh, no. You're wrong.
Oh,
I was yelling at Drew today in the car. I think the greatest form of discrimination is against fat people. Think about what we do to poor fat people in this society. And we love to just call them lazy and no count and, where's your discipline, you fat ass, sitting on your ass all day eating bonbons. I've never seen a fat person that did not have a fat parent or two fat parents. It is a genetic deal. That's not to say that you can't work it. Oh, yeah, you can work it.
But you can't be Cindy Crawford.
You'll never be Cindy Crawford. Don't bother reading her book. Don't bother buying Tyra Banks' book. And listen. Don't listen to these spokesmodels when they tell you how you should feel about yourself at 260 pounds. Yeah, of course you should feel good about yourself. It's easy for them to say. They're 120 pounds, and they're 5'10", and they've got a great ass and big jugs.
And they eat bonbons all
But they want you to feel good about yourself. Screw them. Go ahead and feel bad about yourself. You got some skinny rail telling you how to feel about yourself. It's disgusting. Dana?
Yeah.
I would be insulted if I were you.
I would suggest a dietitian and a trainer and that sort of thing before liposuction, or in addition to if you want to reward yourself for the procedure. Okay?
Here's the deal, Dana. You got an uphill battle. There's no doubt about it.
But
that's it.
Yeah,
it's a battle.
Do it.
It's like anything else. Don't wuss out.
Well, I think there's a different side to that statement, which is don't feel like you're a failure, there's something wrong with you, or you're, that because you're big, that's your genetic hand.
Right.
And you got a lot of work to do. Go ahead and do it.
It's kind of like this. Well, everyone else is playing 5-card stud. You're playing 7-card draw. You know what I mean? You just got dealt a few extra hands. That's all.
Ken.
Get a few extra cards in your hand. Ken.
Yes.
Hey, you're 30. What's going on?
What's going on? Hey, I'm a police officer in L.A. County, and I'd really like to commend her superb work with the crack babies.
Barbara,
correct. Out in the field, I interact a lot with these people. I take them into custody. I do the FSTs out there. And there's more than we can take into custody. They go in there, they do their 10 days county jail, boom, they're back out on the street. Very rare do they actually get real good jail time because it's just, for a small crime, they have to put the robbers and bank robbers and other criminals, they have to house them a lot more than, unfortunately, these crack babies' mothers are having these crazy. And then it's both male and female.
And Ken, here's the thing that I think would be interesting. Take a look at the family history of the bank robbers and of the murderers and of the rapists. Let's see what kind of environment they grew up in. I'll bet it was something close to what these kids are growing up in.
Oh, exactly. And in fact, it's documented that many of the people who are addicted to drugs are now career criminals because that's what they have to do to keep their addiction. I mean, first it's a small theft here, a small theft there, and they have a part-time or full-time job, and now their life is consumed, and all they want to do is take drugs, like heroin addicts or cocaine addicts, where they have to steal and commit burglaries and robberies to keep their...
Right. I'm going to put you on hold, Ken, because you're breaking up, but we appreciate your call. And if you ever pull Drew over again, beat the crap out of him, because this guy's... Drew's doing 85 through a school zone the other day, as God is my witness. Here's the deal. All you got to do is the math. If you're addicted to a drug and you got a $100 a day habit or a $200 a day habit and you can't work, well, then what do you got to do? No job and a $200 a day habit. What do you got to do, Drew?
You got to get money.
Got to start stealing car stereos. Whose stereos you stealing?
Typically what they actually do is, the patients I've talked to, I see not the criminal end, but the patient end, even people that are still not way into it.
Individual and grabbing their purse and yanking on their hand or punching through their car window and pulling their cassette deck out just for $50.
Hey, but what people don't understand is that many of these people that do this are just so biologically taken. They're absolutely. It's like they are being possessed by the biology of this drug. I see these people down the line when they've been treated, and they're often very fine people. And they look at it as like they can't even understand their behavior. Then they are absolutely responding to a biology that is outside of any willful or rational influence.
One of my best friends did this. Hooked on crack. He knocked a woman over, took her purse. He's a sweet, warm-hearted guy, except for the part about knocking women over, taking the purse. But no, he did it once. He was out of his mind. Yeah. He was high on crack. All he knew is he needed more.
This is back to what we were talking about earlier in the show, I think, tonight, about stimulant-addicted people becoming violent. It happens all the time.
Absolutely. But don't worry. Government make marijuana. It's number one priority. Believe me, you should pray everyone gets stoned and stays home and watches a little TNT. A little Dukes of Hazzard marathon, for Christ's sake. A little less humping, a little more TV watching. We'd be living in utopia. Right, Barbara? That's right. I'm going to come down there one day and tour the compound. Be like Princess Diana, one of the missions.
Ben.
Yeah.
Ben is 12.
Yeah.
What's up, Ben?
Well, I had a question. What's the chance of a crack baby doing crack when they're older?
Good question. Maybe Barbara has the answer.
Okay.
Maybe the doctor has the answer.
Well, the deal is,
I've heard, but...
an addict is an addict is an addict. And if you have, whether you have one or both parents with the gene for addiction or the disease of addiction, the probability of a child getting the gene is around 50 or 60%. Now, children often model their parents' behavior, sometimes even when they're not raised around their parents. So certainly if the child inherits the gene, which is around 50 or 60%, crack would probably be a high probability of being one of the drugs that person would be addicted to. So I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's certainly 50 or 60% probability of becoming an addict.
Okay.
What would you say, Barbara?
I would say I hope my children don't become addicts. That's pretty scary.
But It's alcoholism, really, primarily underlying it. So you really have to watch their relationship with substances, educate them about them. You raise them in a healthy environment with their emotional coping strategies that are necessary to feel okay without needing some escape mechanism to be initiated in the first place. All right, Ben?
Yeah.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, here's all I want government to do, Barbara. I just want them to take an unbiased look at the facts and then make their judgments accordingly. Forget about religion. Forget about race. Forget about gender. Forget about next year's election. You just sit back, take a look at the data, and then make the move. You know who we need? You know who we need in place? I just had a great idea. We need to run the government like we run the military. Now, hold on. You got to listen to this. We need strategists in there.
Are you thinking of Lloyd again?
No, that was the driver we had. Great guy. Listen to this, Drew. I'm just coming on to this. I've never mentioned this before, but think about it. You take a guy like Patton, or Montgomery, whoever the hell, Rommel, whoever you're talking about, generals from World War II. They were strategists. They, for instance, knew that instead of facing the army, head on, they might fly over the army and bomb their fuel supply depot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
To then cut them off.
Right.
And they wouldn't have to engage them in battle. They would surrender. These are strategies you use. When you have children that are addicted to crack, when you have mothers churning out 5, 6, 15 children, you use a strategy at that point.
But I guarantee there are think tanks out there that publish stuff that the government reads but just don't want to touch.
All right, I've read several things that reports they've done naming the number of these babies that are born, and the answer on all of the documents I read is fund more money for treatment programs, but it's not going to work unless these women
screening and treatment. Screening and treatment. That's everyone who's in the field or studies the issue. Everybody comes up with the same answer.
Screening and treatment. Wasn't that a Burl Ives song from that Christmas special?
It was
Screening and treatment.
That was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't think about that. All right, Barbara?
Yes.
I'm just going to punch up
also
another
talking
call
about
here.
misfits, as I remember.
Cheryl.
Yes.
You're 27.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I think that Barbara's idea is absolutely wonderful. My mother and I are foster parents and adopted parents of 9.
Oh.
And
my God.
I think it's great because these kids go through unbelievable things. And, the parents aren't around to deal with it. They don't even have a clue a lot of times.
Let me give Barbara
Thank God they're not, actually, frankly. Thank God the parents didn't stay in the picture because imagine the abuse these kids would have to put up with.
Let me give Barbara's credentials or history very quickly again for those who just tuned in. Our guest on the phone is Barbara Harris. She's adopted 4 crack babies. She has started a program called CRACK. That's Children Requiring a Caring Community with a K. And she is paying $200 to women and men who have a history with this sort of nonsense to basically get Norplant or Depo-Provera or the tubal ligation or whatever it is they can do. Vasectomy, not to have more children.
And just to point out how important we think this issue is, we normally don't allow guests on the phone.
We don't?
No, we don't.
That's right, we don't.
And Barbara is, we thought this was so important, we just had to get you in here somehow.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is really, it's God's work you're doing, except for God isn't really into the Norplant, the Depo-Provera, the tubal ligation. But other than that, it is God's work.
Thank you.
God bless you. This is it, everybody. You have a problem, and like I said a minute ago, you plan a strategy, and you go at it. It's as simple as that. This is the most direct strategy I can think of. Yeah. Could there be anything more rudimentary than, you got a gal who's had herself 10 crack kids. You think maybe we could stop her from having the 11th? Isn't that does it take more than a third grade education to come up with that? It's the most straightforward concept in the world. Yet the politicians shot it down. God bless them. These are the people you put in office. And let me tell you,
it turned out it was the Democrats that shot it down.
Democrats who are just the biggest wusses in the world. Republicans aren't any better in their own way. I want a new breed of politician in there. I want the make sense party. Whatever the statistics back up, that's what they go with. That's it. Why do you become a politician if you just want to sit on your ass and shuffle papers? Why work so hard to get into this position and spend so much money if you just want to shoot down good ideas? Why bother getting yourself into that position? Ridiculous. Oh, I could straighten this country out in 6 months. Barbara?
Yes.
We're going to...
Would you vote for Adam, Barbara?
Yes.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's right. We could run together.
Okay.
Oh, it'd be great.
That's right. We'd pictures of me kissing crack kids, pictures of you inserting Norplant into homeless women. It'd be great. All right, hang on a second, Barbara. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with you.
Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. The phone number's 1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
This is Psychic Kenny Kingston, and you're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
See, now there's someone that wouldn't have been born if Barbara Harris had gotten her way.
Remember when he predicted the Bill Clinton thing about 4 years ago?
What did psychic Sweet Spirit Kenny Kingston say? What did he say?
He said he'd be involved in a scandal that would be so outrageous it would make somebody...
Marilyn Monroe and Kennedy look like nothing?
Like Little Lord Fauntleroy or something, remember? Somebody would look like Little Lord Fauntleroy. That would be such an amazing scandal.
Right. Well, no duh. I predict Lorenzo Lamas gets divorced in the next 3 years. Please, what do you think? Of course the guy's going to get in trouble. First off, every president's going to get in trouble from here on in unless they just bang no one but their wife, and even that's just
what's wrong with that?
No doggy.
Why should?
Oh, please, Drew. Barbara Harris. I don't want to get political except for now. Barbara Harris is our guest tonight. Barbara is involved with an organization, actually founded an organization called CRACK. That is Children Require a Caring Community. And she's adopted 4 crack babies herself, and they're 7, 8, and 9 now, or something like that, and maybe 10. I guess there's got to be 4 somewhere.
Did somebody say Barbara has to go now or after this segment?
No, after the segment.
After the segment. Okay.
She's got to see the kids off to school.
Right,
Tomorrow's a school day. Kids are doing good, and we're all for what Barbara's doing. And basically what Barbara is doing is giving people that have a history of having multiple children...
While using drugs,
an incentive, a monetary incentive to be on birth control. And give them $200, they get the Norplant or the Depo-Provera or the tubal ligation or the hat trick, all of them. That's what I would give them, $600. That's the big winner. Hey, let me ask you a question, Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know approximately what it costs to raise a crack baby? I mean, the government, if in... the mother has one and just sort of leaves it at the hospital or in the dumpster?
Well, they call these $1 million babies because I know a lot of them cost $1 million before they even get out of the hospital.
Well, they are the ones that are the preemies.
Neonatal intensive care.
Yeah.
And, well, I do have that written down somewhere. I don't have it in the top of my head, but just figure some of these kids, foster care alone is $500 to $3,000 a month per child. Social workers, court costs, Medi-Cal. I mean, I can't even... I do have the statistics somewhere, and I'm sorry I don't have it on
And they need, because of their condition, they need constant supervision, they need medical treatment, medications. I mean, this is more than Liz Taylor, let's say. They would cost more than Liz Taylor currently costs Medi-Cal. To maintain. I mean, think about that, everybody. Think about what one kid costs us as taxpayers in this government. Meanwhile, we've been trying to build a new school here out in L.A. for the last 20 years, and we can't get the funding together. Do you know what? You think of it's ludicrous. What kind of objective is this? I mean, what kind of strategy is this? Is the idea is just run society into the ground? And by the way, this child that we spent $1 million keeping alive has a very, very high rate of committing crimes and getting involved in the illegal activity and whatnot, especially when they don't have people as kind and as caring enough as Barbara to intervene and raise them.
Which is the vast majority of cases.
Which is the vast majority of them.
We have on the line.
Oh, we do?
Yep.
We have a what?
Somebody says he was crack addicted. Tyler?
Yeah.
Hey, you're 22.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, I was born crack addicted, and my mother, which is my adopted mother, but I'm the only mother I've ever known because she's taken care of me my whole life. She raised lots of kids, like about 70 of them.
70?
Yeah, she did a lot of foster kids and stuff, and I was adopted by her, one of the 3 that she adopted, and I've turned out okay. She raised us and taught us good morals and had us raised in a healthy environment, and I'm doing pretty good now. I haven't been addicted to any drugs in my life. The only thing I've ever been addicted to is cigarettes. But
how does this manifest itself in your life? Has it affected you?
The crack?
Well, I mean, physiologically.
Have you had any problems from it?
I've had some anger problems as a child, and I've been in a couple institutions, but I think it just took some growing up is all.
Psychiatric hospitals?
Yeah, just trying to get past that.
Right.
I guess it's called attachment disorder.
Oh.
Because I wasn't nursed as a baby or anything like that, and so.
Wow.
But
now, but Tyler, you're one of the few that has had. I mean, you're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
You had a good person intervene and make a positive impact on your life.
Definitely.
And it is a full-time job when you're dealing with a child who's addicted to crack this way.
Oh yes, I know.
Oh, your mother, your adopted mother, went through about 70 children.
A little over 70, yeah. She's had about 70 foster kids in the home, and she's adopted 3 of them. Three she adopted were some of the hardest ones, and I was one of them. So.
Oh, woman's a saint.
How do you support yourself? How do you support yourself now?
I'm a custodial technician. I don't like to call myself a janitor, so.
And you do all right? You out on your own?
I'm out on my own, and I'm doing all right.
Good.
I'm trying to make something out of my life.
Good. That's it. You've defied the odds.
Yep.
Just like, well, actually, not Drew. Drew's actually a bit of a disappointment. There's folks really had higher hopes for him. Sitting on some crappy FM stations late night talking to
working with you
kids about crack. Barbara?
Yes.
But who we just talked to, Tyler, that's more the exception than the rule, wouldn't you say?
Right. Where they go after they're born is so important. I mean, people just don't understand. They just don't stand a chance otherwise.
It's
because
interesting
it's hard
attachment.
To grow up, even if you weren't addicted to drugs,
it's interesting
feeling loved and secure.
But it's interesting that he had an attachment disorder, even though he was adopted right away. I mean, there are adopted kids and foster kids out there that don't get that attachment disorder. It's interesting.
We're speaking to Barbara Harris, who's adopted 4 crack kids and basically has a plan about paying mothers and fathers to get birth control who are the ones who are giving birth constantly to these crack children. Yeah. And here's basically her simple plan. If you're giving birth to kids and you're doing it repeatedly and they're addicted to any drug or you're addicted, we're going to put some Norplan in you and we'll give you a little monetary incentive. It makes all the sense in the world. And I don't know why, secondhand smoke. Well, that's the biggest issue we have. The biggest is that the biggest issue this effing state has? Secondhand smoke, for Christ's sake. Drew and I just got back from Chicago. We just went to a nice restaurant, very upscale place, a 4-star place. Cost me $100 for me and Drew, and I didn't even get a hand job. So it's the worst date I've ever had. But I swear to God, we just sat there, and there were folks smoking at the bar. And there was a smoking section, and no one coughing. No one seemed to mind. Drew and I just sat at our table.
We could have moved if we wanted to.
We could have moved. No problem. Enjoyed our lovely meal and left. Just adults exercising their right to be adults and Americans. No problems at all. In California, we just have unlimited time and resources for secondhand smoke. That is the biggest problem in this country, according to the California legislation. But yet, these crack children, they don't exist. Who, by the way, are going to be smokers.
See, I see that as racist.
We just talked to Tyler. He's just, his only addiction is smoker. I can guarantee you, children that are born to addicted parents have a much higher rate of smoke there. So maybe we can, hey, Barbara, this is the new angle. It's approach to stop potential smokers. If you can just work the smoking into it, if you can somehow appeal to the nicotine lobby with all these pussies in Sacramento, maybe they'll make a move. So that's your next move. Don't use crack, use cigarette. And then they'll jump in. Oh, there'll be an intervention. That's when they get out the National Guard. Bunch of hypocrite pussies scared to make a move. Get out of office if you're scared.
I see it as racist that they not move on this.
Explain that.
Well, it seems like they don't care about this.
Right.
Right. Go ahead, Sharon. You're 35.
Huh?
What's going on?
I'm 35.
All right. What'd we do? Call you and wake you up?
No, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to this and I'm getting a little irate.
Oh, good. Well, turn down your radio.
Turn it down?
Yeah.
What's in the other room?
Listen, I can hear it in the background and it's going to screw you up. All right.
Hold on, okay?
All right.
I'll turn it down.
Now I'm irate. I usually talk during these segments, but I'm really tired tonight. And I know Drew feels the same.
I didn't even notice you weren't talking.
How often do we really just sit back and enjoy this music?
Okay.
All right. Yes, Sharon. What's going on?
Am I on the air?
Yes.
I got a problem.
Go ahead.
I mean, I didn't give birth to crack babies. Okay?
You
I
didn't.
gave birth to healthy babies.
All right.
I'm going through a divorce. And now tell me that they're not suffering.
Tell me that the children aren't suffering?
For sure.
Of course they are. What's your point?
My point is, okay, Barbara is stressing everything on crack babies. I mean, she's not stressing anything on...
Sharon,
my heart goes out for Barbara.
Sharon, we have a 2-hour show every night where we talk about trying to create stable relationships and not consider divorce an option and create circumstances where families are stable.
Correct.
Well, what's the name of that show?
It's Loveline. We do it 2 hours a night. Tonight we just had to be talking about this one particular
Well, okay,
issue.
what I'm saying is, okay, my husband has an addiction.
Yep.
Okay, I gave birth to 2 healthy babies.
All right. Hey, Sharon.
Yes.
Are you drunk now?
No.
All right. Listen, Sharon, here's what's going on, and everyone who's listening can hear it. You have a bit of an agenda. You want to talk about your divorce and all that. Fine. We'll talk about it, but don't sort of couch it in, why is Barbara only talking about crack? She's talking about crack because that's her movement, and we've asked her to come on the show and talk about it. You have a different problem. We're willing to talk about it briefly,
I believe addiction is probably the number one health problem, one of the number one health problems in this country, and of course it destroys families.
Well, I want to know, is something like an addiction can create an asthma problem?
An asthma problem? Give me the specifics. If somebody's smoking pot every day, they will get chronic bronchitis. Yes. If somebody's smoking
marijuana.
Yes.
Can that create a very severe addiction or a very severe problem for my little boy?
He's smoking marijuana?
No.
Someone's smoking around him.
Somebody's smoking around him?
All right.
My ex.
I swear to God, I'm going to hang up on you, Sharon, if you give one of those condescending chuckles again.
All right.
All right. Your ex is smoking around the child.
Some children are very sensitive to smoke if they already have severe asthma.
So it's certainly not helping.
So what I'm asking is that before the child is conceived?
No.
No.
Not from the male side, certainly.
The only thing that's even been associated with marijuana from the male is orthopedic defects, and that's been sort of a loose association.
You have 2 kids, Sharon?
Yes, sir.
All right. How old are they? 4
and going on 6.
Okay. Can you take care of them for us?
I always have.
All right. Good. Hey, Barbara.
Yes.
You see why we want to not just limit this to crack? Do you understand why we're interested in spreading this out to just everybody?
Right.
Oh. The Sharon bringing you up. Imagine that.
Yeah, but imagine what the husband is. He's worse.
Now we're crack into the equation, everybody. I mean, you just heard Sharon and her pot addicted, whatever he is, the one she's going through divorce with. Doesn't sound like the world's greatest environment to come up in, does it?
No.
Now times that by 100. And that's where you have these crack-addicted people, or just heroin, speed, whatever. At least Sharon is attempting to be a mother. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
These people, they're dropping their kids off in dumpsters and at the hospital.
Right.
Oh, and what's it costing us? Oh, just breaking my back. All right, Barbara, you have to pack lunches and get your kids off to school.
Yeah.
And they're in third, fourth, fifth, second, third, fourth.
Kindergarten, first, second, and third.
I don't know how old you are. I was held back 15 grade. I was driving I drove to my 6th grade graduation. It was great. Peeled out on the lawn. It's huge. Brought a couple of hookers in. Had a bottle of Jack Daniels around their arm. Let's party. Kicked ass in Saco, I'll tell you that. All right, Barbara.
Yes.
I'll tell you what. Give me your number, and when you give it to me, you'll give it out over the air, and then I'll give it out before the night is through again.
Okay. 714-236-0217.
One more time.
714-236-0217.
And this is a number that people can call if they're interested in making a donation of some type or helping out in some way. Am I right, Barbara?
Right.
And potential Norplant recipients could call as well, right?
That's right.
All right. Put that crack pipe down and dial 714-236-0217. Thank you very much, Barbara.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
It was our pleasure. Call back and check up with us.
Okay, I
Tell
will.
us how it's going, and God bless you and the kids. We'll be back.
I feel so liquidy. Really? Why? You're listening to Loveline with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Loveline will be right back.
Hi, this is Suzanne Summers, and you're listening to Loveline with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla, so don't go away.
She's a total pro, that Suzanne Summers. You know, it's weird, though. I saw her, when she came in here, Suzanne Summers came in here, I don't know, 3 years ago or something. Yeah. She was with Alan Hamill, her husband. Then I saw her when I did Politically Incorrect.
She was on that with
about a month and a half ago. She did the show, I think on Thursday. They double up their tapings.
Right.
And she was on.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's smart. Double it up. You don't have to come in on Friday.
For the burp. Just belch into the mic.
Okay. Please, Drew. Let's not live in the past. She was in there, and again with Alan. And Alan was a celebrity in Canada.
Right.
He hosted a game show in Canada. And then, for those of you who are old enough, remember he did this. He did some TV shows, but I guess he was most known for his Alpha Beta commercial.
That's a local thing here.
It was a local supermarket.
Yeah.
I bet he got paid more than we do for our TV show for doing local ads. Yeah, tell a friend. Here's the point. He travels with her everywhere she goes and sort of sits there with a maniacal grin on his face. And I don't trust him. I got to be honest with you. Seems like a nice enough guy. Talked to him a few times.
For the shadowing.
He's always hanging out.
Yeah.
I don't trust any couples that hang out together. I really don't. Your wife doing Politically Incorrect is a golden opportunity for you to hang out at home.
Right.
Good luck. Oh, the car's here to pick you up, sweetie. Adios. And she leaves, and you put your feet up and watch Sports Center. Or invite a few guys over and play some cards. After, they've been married for 20 years.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be going with her.
Wasn't there some issue that happened to them or something?
I don't know.
Yeah,
there's something. I'm telling you, I suspect something. I don't trust couples that are couples. Steve.
Yeah.
You're 23. Oh, Steve's been on hold for 123 minutes.
Adam, what's up? You're the man.
Thanks.
I had a question that's not your typical Loveline kind of question. It's kind of for Drew.
Yeah.
Drew, you're the man as well. I listen to your show every night. In April of this year, I was diagnosed with B-cell deficiency.
What kind of B-cell deficiency?
That's the whole problem. My immunologist...
You just have some non-specific B-cell deficiency. Have you always had it, or was it acquired? Something happened later in life?
See, that's what I'm wondering. See, because I've had, since about late 91, I've had chronic ENT problems.
Okay, all right, okay. Here's the deal.
Hold on, Drew. Are you trying to start a fire with the arm of the chair? What is this, some kind of a merit badge you're trying to earn here? Stop banging the arm of the chair against the console.
The immune system, lymphocyte system, is basically made up of B cells and T cells. Everybody's heard of T cells because that's attacked with HIV and AIDS. And B cells is another limb of the system. It's basically, in the simplest terms, that which creates the immunoglobulins, the antibodies that are directed towards whatever might be attacking your body.
Right, I've been getting...
And some people have certain deficiencies of immunoglobulins. People get IgD deficiency, for instance, and those are the people that get these chronic recurrent sinus infections and this sort of thing. Their immunity to the outside world in and around their nose and throat area is not real good.
You a real doctor, just a left doctor?
And it sounds like you're describing that kind of thing, Steve. Is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Do they give you immunoglobulin? Do they give you shots of immunoglobulin?
What I've been getting is gamma globulin infusions.
That's immunoglobulin. That's immunoglobulin.
Okay.
So you have an immunoglobulin deficiency, they think, due to some B cell deficiency. So.
Right.
Hey, Steve?
Yeah.
I want you to do me a quick favor here.
Uh-huh.
You sound like one of two celebrities to me, and I just want to figure out which one it is. So I want you to repeat these two things, and we can settle it.
All right.
First, in your nose with a rubber hose.
Say that?
In your nose with a rubber hose.
Now say it real Steve-esque. Go ahead, put a little something behind it.
In your nose with the rubber hose.
Ooh, it's getting close. Thinking a little bit of a Vinnie Barbarino from, sorry, up your nose.
No, I'm pretty far away from
They say pot ruins the mind, Drew, please. All right, let's try one other celebrity. You ready? This one's just one word. Whoa! Go ahead.
Oh, no, don't even compare me to Joey Lawrence.
I thought he ought to be a little bit, a little Rocky in there.
Yo Adrian. Give me Yo.
I've heard the Stallone comparison before, but never the Joey Lawrence. I used to think you were the man, Adam.
Just give me a quick whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, that's Joey. That is Joey.
See, but actually, this is a real serious problem because lately, after the first two infusions, I seem to be getting better.
Yeah.
And now I've had my fourth infusion, and it seems like, if I go outside and the humidity's bad, that'll exacerbate the problem.
Well, I wonder if you all have also some ENT drainage problems. I hope they're also having you see a ear, nose, and throat person. I mean, these things, after having had this for a while, you get some chronic stuff going in your nose, and so this is something that was not going to go away easily. Also, the immunoglobulin replacement is sort of an incomplete therapy, so it's not going to go away completely.
What's he have to do in 10 seconds?
They're doing the right stuff, it sounds like. Just stay with it. It's confusing, pain in the ass, but you got to keep with it.
Good luck, Steve. Ted, let me burn a few calls. Ted's 14. He's been on hold for 100 minutes. Found porno mags under his 11-year-old sis's bed. Confronted her.
No, I haven't confronted her
should you
yet.
confront her or tell Mom?
Yeah, I need to know.
What kind of porno mags?
Penthouse. It's like, and I look through it, it's all like lesbian and single girl and stuff.
Well, that's all Penthouse is.
Yeah. It's, I don't know what to do. I mean.
Well, you know what? I'll give you, here's what I think. Penthouse has something called Forum. I'm not interested because it's words. And until they can teach words to hump, I'm not interested in watching.
That was written for women.
But Penthouse, I hear, has Forum, and it's sexy stories. And girls, especially young girls, or any girls, they like to read that. It really is exciting for them. I would guess, Drew, that she is reading the Forum, and that's why she has Penthouse.
Yep.
She would have another publication.
Yep.
And as far as the girl-on-girl stuff, all magazines have girl-on-girl stuff, so you couldn't really say, well, she's a lesbian because there's girl-on-girls pictured in here.
Still a little bit young. She's 11. I don't know, being exposed to that stuff is a little bit off the mark there. But
all right, I wouldn't rat her out to the parents.
Talk to her.
If you got a problem, talk to her. Okay, here we go. Lori.
Hi.
37, has been with boyfriend for 3 months. She's still into phone sex.
No, not me. Actually, you know what? Before we touch on my sitch, can I make a comment about Cheryl?
real quick.
Real quick. You know what? Her animosity is towards her husband, not towards a woman with compassion and empathy.
Are you talking about Sharon?
Sharon.
Yeah, that was that caller.
She needs to go out and get some therapy and deal with the animosity towards her husband, because I'm sure it's coming out when she's dealing with the children.
Listen, Lori, people try to weave their yarn into the show's fabric all the time. And that's just their agenda.
Yeah.
And hers obviously had nothing to do with this week's stitch.
It sure didn't.
We're out of time in 20 seconds, you guys.
Okay, here we go. I just want to get a male perspective on a situation, because all my girlfriends think...
Engineer Mike, come in here. We're looking for a male perspective.
Male perspective. Come on, all you males, get in there. Okay, I've been with my boyfriend for 3 months, and when we agreed to be monogamous, which was we were together about a month, he asked me, well, what do you think about phone sex? Him having phone sex. And I told him, well, that's cool. I don't care, as long as it doesn't interfere with our relationship.
All right, but he's still doing it.
He's still doing it. And come to find out, he's calling her 2 to 3 times a week, and he's been talking to her over a year. And we got in an argument over it.
That's, hold on, we're running out of time, Lori. That is a relationship.
That he has with that phone sex operator.
Absolutely, yeah, especially if it's the same one.
It's kind of a flaw for him to need that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm saying I wouldn't stand for it.
Yeah.
It is definitely a relationship.
Yeah.
I got not only that, but it's costing him a bunch of money. I bet he can't afford. But the point is he's on the phone whacking off and having a relationship.
He may be a sex addict.
Yeah.
It's a high probability.
All right, so not a great idea, but...
put your foot down.
Yeah, and here's, before you put your foot down, examine why you put your hat in.
With
to
him
that
in the
ring.
first place, yeah.
That's right.
This is Loveline. Loveline will be right back.
All right, that is the end of the show. Let me give Barbara Harris's number out one more time. And please, write this down. If you want to donate a little time, a little money, a crack stroller, or something like that. Some Norplant. If you're whipping it up in your basement, you want to donate it, fine. Here's her number, 714-236-0217. Call her and make a difference. I want to thank her for joining us on the phone tonight. Tomorrow night, Caroline Ray will be in here from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, a stand-up comedian, one of Drew's favorites. And until then, I want to thank everybody and mahalo.
Mommy! This has been Loveline. The views expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, the management, or the sponsors of this radio station. And are probably not the views of Westwood One Entertainment. Loveline is produced by Ann Wilkins Ingle. Now, please listen to this station longer.